Senator Harris, just take us inside what, not just this vote around whether or not to approve of introducing documents, which seems all the lawyers here among me say this is pretty cut and dry. Anything called a trial usually includes evidence. That's not where today's Republican Party is, it would seem, based on that first vote.
I know, Nicole. I mean, it's extraordinary. Listen, the bottom line here has to be that we all agree that it is just fundamentally fair that any trial be a process by which we receive evidence. And that includes witness testimony, that includes documents. And what we are seeing, and for hours now, there has been basically a battle about whether that should happen. And to your point, it is extraordinary that we would be debating whether a trial should involve the receipt of evidence. If this is going to have any legitimacy, it will be a process by which we uncover, we discover, we discuss, we debate what happened. And the only way to know what happened is to receive the evidence, and then we can determine whether it is relevant, and then we can determine whether it is credible, and there can be debates about that. But there should not be an effort to obstruct the Senate's ability to actually know what happened. But that's what we're witnessing right now.
Senator McCaskill is here. I'm going to let her jump in a second, but she made a sharp and immediate observation and reacted almost viscerally to watching the White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, make statements that were demonstrably false. He talked about Republicans not being permitted inside the SCIFs, where the closed-door depositions took place in the House Intel Committee. We have video of Republicans walking in and out of those SCIFs. Congressman Schiff came out and said that he was either uninformed or else. What is it like in there to sort of hear from the president's lawyers who are not arguing the facts? Facts aren't in dispute, but are trying to introduce these Trumpian lies.
Misleading. Right, exactly. I know. I have a theory. I actually have a theory. You know what I think is happening? I think part of it, because one of the things that we cannot accuse them of is not being strategic. I think what's happening here is that we're on a clock. We're on a clock, right? So even during this phase of the trial, everyone is on a clock in terms of how many minutes they have to make their arguments, to present their arguments. And so, hey, let's throw out all these misleading statements, these lies, and then require the other side to correct the record without getting to the arguments about the amendments and the resolutions. I think that's what's going on. So that Adam Schiff, so that Zoe Lofgren would have to spend time correcting facts that we all know, if we've been paying attention, are true, such as the fact that the Republicans on the House side were in those hearings, had the ability to cross-examine the evidence, and had the ability to participate in that process.
Senator Harris, you pressed Attorney General Barr about this question of election meddling, about foreign intervention. This impeachment is about Donald Trump's attempt to cheat in the next election, the 2020 election. I mean, is it troubling to you or perplexing to you that there's not a single word uttered? It's almost 5 o'clock. The president's attorneys have spoken multiple times. Not a single defense of his conduct, which is not in dispute and amounts to an effort to cheat in the 2020 presidential election.
What they're doing right now is attempting to have the United States Senate, and by extension the American people, look away from the evidence, look away from the charges. And basically this is an attempt to distract us from the job in front of us, which is to determine the veracity of those 2 articles of impeachment, which are clearly, to your point, one of them about the president's attempt to interfere in the election in 2020 by encouraging a foreign government to actually manipulate the process.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.